It'll go down as one of the great days of Goulburn rugby, and appreciate you all here. Knows what's going on tonight. Culminating a great day. John Sharp's just going to say a few words. But before that, three guys who are responsible for getting this ground together. They didn't do all the work, they definitely coordinated it all. Matthew Clem, Scott Clem and Greg Hucker. And on behalf of the Goulburn Rugby, or all rugby, I'd like to present it with a tutor. If Mrs. Hucker could just bring those tutors out for me. I know it's a hard thing to do these guys before they go onto the paddock, but if anyone's deserving of something, it's those guys. So, thank you, Scott. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Greg. Now I'll hand over to John.
Well, thank you very much, Kevin, and to Simon Poidevin and everybody here today gathered at one of the most historic events in Goulburn Rugby's very long history. Firstly, can I thank the Goulburn Rugby Club, the Dirty Reds, for inviting me here today to be at the opening of the Simon Poidevin Oval. And I don't know whether I should thank them for inviting me to play, as we did earlier this morning with the Golden Oldies, and I think the term's not quite right. We should have been the Bronze Oldies, I think. But it has been a very memorable day for me. This is the first time I've had a game of football in 13 years. And when I was looking for my socks and my shorts and my mouth guard this morning, I was saying, why on earth am I doing this? This could be very dangerous. Somebody in the opposing team could be living under the east-west runway flight path. Or alternatively, they may not necessarily like the sort of people like me, but we've had a very good day here today. And I'd like to thank all the people who are here today to help commemorate this very special event and to make the opening of the Simon Poidevin Oval a grand affair. Goulburn Rugby is one of the oldest rugby clubs in Australia. Started in 1872. It was one of 8 clubs that formed the Southern Union all those years ago. And Goulburn Rugby Club has been actually formed in its current state for some 40-odd years. I think it's the 40th anniversary this year. The ground that we're going to officially open in a few moments' time was handed over by the Department of Lands, the then Department of Lands, to Goulburn Rugby Club some 28 years ago. And apart from some early games that were played at that time, the ground was dormant for many, many years. And in more recent times, members of the club have decided that, well, this is a grand chance to make ourselves a really good rugby home and to get this ground, the now to be called Simon Poidevin Oval, back to a really high standard. And ladies and gentlemen, you'll have all had a chance to see just how good the work that Greg and Matt and Scott and a whole host of others have done over the last 6 months. They've spent virtually every weekend here. I've come up a couple of times over the last 6 months, sometimes after work in the afternoons, and they've been down here working, mowing and fertilising and sowing grass and carrying on, and they've done an enormous amount of work to bring this ground up to a very high standard. And having played for a few minutes on it this morning, I can tell you that it is a top quality ground. And this ground, to me, with the setting that it's in, with the banks on 3 sides of it and the trees all around of it, I think this could be one of the great homes for country rugby union in New South Wales. And I hope that we're going to see now more and more top-grade games of rugby played here on this Simon Poidevin Oval. Can I thank not just those members of the club who've put so much effort into the work to bring this ground up to the standards today, but can I also thank the Goulburn community for supporting the Dirty Reds financially and in other ways to help provide the funds to do what's being done. And Goulburn business has been very, very kind indeed by making so much money available to help build so much of the facilities. But it is a day when rugby union here in Goulburn can look back over its very long history and its very proud history and say that here in Goulburn we've produced some great rugby union players. And this ground is named after what I believe to be Goulburn's greatest rugby export he is too, but its greatest rugby export, Simon Poidevin. Now Simon's played some 59 tests for the Wallabies. He started his rugby career here in Goulburn with St Pat's just down the way here. I was pleased to see St Pat's playing their game today and winning so well. But Simon Poidevin started here as a Goulburn boy, St Pat's College, played his first adult games of football here with the Goulburn Dirty Reds, and of course went on to play 59 tests for the Wallabies, and through the course of that establish a reputation of being, in my view, and I'm sure it's the view of a lot of other people, the best breakaway in rugby in the world. And I think it's going to be a long time before we see a breakaway of the standard and calibre of Simon Poidevin. And so it's a really fitting thing that Goulburn should name its new home for rugby the Simon Poidevin Oval, because no town in Australia could have a better figurehead to name their own rugby ground after. And I think we can be very proud that Simon Poidevin comes from Goulburn, maintains his links with this town by coming back here regularly on weekends and through the course of the year. We can be very proud indeed that Simon Poidevin is a Goulburn boy. And so, Simon, congratulations on having this oval named after you. There aren't many things in our lives that we can do that will have a lasting memory well after we've gone. But Simon Poidevin can know and be assured that his name will live on here in Goulburn for a long, long time to come. So I'm going to ask Simon, Fitzy, is that the way you want to do it? Yep, we're going to do it. We're going to unveil the sign, the plaque, just behind us here in a few moments' time. Simon and I are going to do it. But can I again congratulate the Dirty Reds, the Goulburn Rugby Club, on the terrific job that they have done in developing this oval. You can be very proud of what you've done. And Simon Poidevin, you too can be proud of having this great rugby ground named after you. I just hope that there's a lot of rugby played on it, and somewhere in the future, Goulburn will be able to produce a rugby player of the standard of Simon Poidevin. Thank you very much. There we go. Well, thanks, John Sharp, for those terrific words, and congratulations to you on your appointment as a Minister of the Federal Government. I'm sure everyone in the district's tremendously proud to have their local member in a very, very senior ministry. To the people of Goulburn, and especially the Goulburn Rugby Club, it's fantastic to be here today. I played my first game ever for the Goulburn side on this ground back in about 1977, trialling for the Dirty Reds. So I managed to make the side after that and haven't looked back since. So this is where it all began in my senior career. I know how hard that the rugby club guys especially have worked to put this ground together. It is hard work, and they at times haven't had the full support of everyone out there, which is a bit of a pity. But for those people who got behind us, the local club, to put this great ground together, thank you very much. To everyone here today for turning up, terrific. And to the players who are playing today, especially the players, the Wallabies, from the Wallabies who have come along. Paul Southall down from Brisbane, we've got Lance Walker, Nick Murray, Steve Cutler, Paul Clements, Peter Lucas, Nick Martin, to name a few. And they're great, they're very, very happy to be here today and provide a bit of entertainment, though I'm sure we'll be sort of gasping out about 5 minutes. And good to see John having a run this morning during the Golden Oldies. We've got a big night on tonight, so for those who can make that, please do. I hope that in the future we see some really great games played up here, and I'm sure there'll be a lot more players come from Goulburn to play for Wallabies. It's a really great dream for it to happen. Well, the youngsters here today, you can make it happen, just get out there and go hard. So thanks again, and enjoy the game. I'll just put across to Gordon Bray, our referee for today. I can't forget him. We've also got Alec Evans, who is one of Australia's great coaches, currently the Director of National Coaching in Australia. Did a great job with Wales last year. But Gordon Bray is our guest referee. The Mr. Rugby on TV, and we've got a bit of this going around the world in the future, so you'll be all going around the globe for this game.
Gordon's going to explain a few of the rules to the game. We've had a few real changes in recent times. So Gordon Bray, I'd like to welcome him, and thank you very much, Gordon, for coming up and joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you for those kind words, Simon. I hope I don't have cause to speak to you during the game. But just for the players' benefit and the spectators' benefit, we are playing under some of the new laws that have been introduced. So the back rows have to stay on the scrum. They have to stay attached until the ball is out. And the other one we're playing is that you can't kick out from inside your 22 on the ball in general play. So a kick in general play, if you kick it out on the ball, we go back to a line-out where you kicked it from. So let the celebrations begin.
Our guest kicking off today is Mr. John Osborne, as a man who's probably responsible for Goulburn Rugby Park Trust having his land back in 1967. So John Osborne, down from Maitland, will kick off to start this game. I hope everyone enjoys it. It should be a great spectacle. Thank you. Also, in the canteen, there's copies of Simon's book, For Love of Money.